Rachel from All About the House. This is my Etsy shop. So I've been selling on Etsy for a couple of years now, and one of the things that has been crucial to making sales is good SEO. So anything from your product title to the tags of your listing to using keywords in the listing, you've really got to nail your SEO so people find your shop and purchase from you. So one of the tools that I use for SEO is called Marmalead, and I'm just going to do a quick video in this video on how I use it to do keyword research, market research, etc. So this is the Marmalead tool. They have a free and a paid version. If you just type in Marmalead in Google, you'll be able to come up with it. So you can pay like a month-to-month subscription to find out market research, tags, which keywords are trending, etc. Or they do have a free version of the tool. So the free version is actually pretty good. Most tools where they have a free and a paid plan, usually the free version's pretty crap and you've really got to pay for it. But this one isn't too bad. So I've just done a search for polka dot cushion cover. So let's hypothetically say that we were selling cushion covers and you wanted to expand your product line, but you're not sure which product to make next. Using a tool such as Marmalead is really good for doing market research. So you can see the price that other people are selling the product for, whether polka dots are popular or whether you should do a different pattern, so whether you should do chevrons or stripes or Greek key or some other sort of pattern or style. You can see which are the top sellers in the category. So if you're just starting your Etsy shop, it's another good place to find out how much competition there is, what the top shops are doing. You can have a look at how many products they have, what sort of stuff selling in their shop, how many sales they have, all that kind of stuff. So if you type in anything, it doesn't have to be this, it can be whatever product in your niche. So these things are part of the paid plan. They tell you, give you an indication of how popular the products are, how much competition there is, but regardless of that, you can still use the free tool options. So this tells me that there is quite a few results for cushion covers, and there is a lot of views, so it's quite popular. There's a lot of views per product as well, so there's suggesting that there is demand for this. There's 61 shops competing for this type of product, so it's quite a few shops on Etsy. Keep in mind that there are like millions of sellers on Etsy, so that's not too bad. You'd be able to rank quite high as long as you do your SEO well. The minimum price is $5, so that's quite low, and the maximum is $65. So let's say that you are pricing your product in the average range, you'd have about $30, $35 that you would probably want to sell for. The average price they calculate for you is about $22. So one of the reasons that this is really good information, and this is the only place that I've been able to find it, the only tool specifically for Etsy, is if you have cost price. So if you are selling, for example, a handmade product or supplies, and you know that your cost price for this cushion cover is 20 bucks, but the average selling price is 22, your profit margin is not going to be that great. So you would probably rethink whether you are actually going to stock that product, or if you are going to charge a higher price to make sure that you actually earn profit on that, then you would need to establish a point of difference or provide extra value. So you can look at what your competitors are doing, which will come up in this search tool, and see how you can create extra value that people are likely to want to pay more for your products. So some of the ways that you can create a unique selling point are things like offering personalization. So if we scroll down, we can see that these are some of the most popular polka dot designs, but you'll notice that none of them are personalized. So none of them are offering the option to add like a monogram or putting a phrase or a quote or anything like that. They're all pretty standard. They're just the pattern on the pillowcase. So if you wanted to rank higher, you could see, okay, no one else is doing that. If I offer that, that's a point of difference, and people are more likely then to buy from me. You'll see that most people are using the same print size, so they're all about this medium polka dot size. This one here stands out to me because it has a small polka dot print and it also has these little pom-poms around the side, so that's a point of difference. And then you can also look at how people are presenting the product. So this photo and these ones stand out to me because it shows the cushion in the actual setting that it will be used. It's not just on a plain background like this one, it's actually showing how it will look. You can visualize how it's going to look, and my eyes are drawn to these photos rather than just this basic one here just on a wood background, nothing special about it. This one also stands out to me because it's not just the polka dot print, it's actually got a graphic on it. So if you didn't want to offer personalization, you could offer a graphic like that on as a way to offer a point of difference. The other thing that I'm noticing is that a lot of these cushions have pink. So we've got pink on this one, this one, this one, this one, and also pink on that one. So if I'm looking at choosing a color, for example, of what I should make first to test the market, I would go with pink because that seems to be a popular color. I'm also noticing that the size of these cushions are all about the same. They all look to be about a medium size cushion. Probably best to start with that size, or if you wanted to establish a point of difference and you've been selling cushion covers for a while, you might switch it up and do a rectangle cushion cover. The other thing you could do is change the size of the print. So we had lots of medium, we've also got lots of small polka dot. If you did a jumbo polka dot print, that might establish a point of difference. This one also stands out to me because it has a graphic on it. That's another way that you could establish a different point of view. So if we keep scrolling down, we can see the pricing spread. So at the moment, most of these cushion covers, the average was about 22, and we can see that most cushion covers are around 20 because we had most items in that price range. So if you were going to sell your cushion covers for $8, not many people are selling at that price. People are probably going to think that your product is cheap and not very good quality. There's always the perception that if you're selling it that low, well, then your cost price mustn't be that low, your quality mustn't be very good. So you never ever want to be on the lowest end of the spectrum for pricing. You always want to sit somewhere in the middle. So if you're not sure what to price it at, you would choose something around this area here. We can also see that there's a spike here as well around the $30 mark. So if you're offering a premium product, you would go about 30, and if you're offering something like personalization, you'd probably go a little bit more, maybe 32 to 35. We can see that it really drops off after about 30 to 40, so you wouldn't want to price your products in this range, especially if they looked like everyone else's. If yours were pretty basic, you would only be offering a premium price if you established a different point of view or a unique selling point. So we can see down here that we have the matching number of entries. So if you purchase the paid plan, you can see all this extra data, but it's okay, we can still look at this without it to gain a perspective of the type of competition we would face entering this market. So at the moment we can see that this item here is quite popular. Now the reason I reckon it's popular is because they're showing all of these different options that are available. So there's so many different options to choose from. It's not just one pillow cover to choose from. Again, this one has different options. So when people see images like this, they go, okay, this shop must have a lot of types of cushions, lots of different styles, sizes, colors, etc. So if you were really looking at cushions, you would go to this shop and then you would probably just choose from something that's in that shop already. It's really annoying, you've probably come across it before, when people, so say you search cushions, you click on that listing and that's the only listing that they have in their shop for a cushion cover. You're immediately just going to close out of there and never go back to that shop. Those sort of shops never make many sales. You need to be a one-stop shop for your type of product. If you've only got a few of this product here and there, no one's going to find your shop and no one's going to stay in your shop. People want a big range of the exact product that they're after, which I reckon is why this one is ranked really highly. So I've clicked on that pillowcase listing and it's taken me to Etsy where I can view that listing at the moment. So like I predicted, this one has 700 items. So if you want cushions, this is the place to go. They have a lot of different cushions to choose from, so it's like a one-stop shop. What I'm noticing about this photo is it's really nicely presented. We've got a nice white background. I can see all of the designs. There's lots to choose from, lots of different options. I'm liking this. I can now see some more close-up views, which is really good. They're using all 5 product photos, which is what you want to do. You get 5 photos, make sure you use all of them. I can also see the back of the cushion, not just the front. So we've got the front here, and then I can also see the backs. That's good. I can get a picture of what the whole product's going to look like. You can then also have a look at their listings, how they lay them out. So if you're offering different options, you can see how they set it out. So they number them and they also name them. So in the options here, you can then choose. That's really good. It correlates. They've got their options listed out in the description and also on the product photo. So it's super easy for customers to order from them. So that's really good. They also offer tons of different sizes. So this is probably why they have so many listings. They're probably a one-stop shop. They probably have quite a few thousand sales. They've also got some use instructions. So for example, air drying, they're handmade, and then different sizes, etc. And then one of the key things you want to include in your descriptions is a link to your shop. So if we go to that shop, we can have a look around and gain an idea of how many sales they're making. So they've got 9,000 sales and they've been selling for about 3.5, 4 years. So that's not bad. They've got a nice promo image. And we can see that they have a lot of different types of pillows. So you can then also look at how they've set out their shop categories. So they've organized it by color. You could also do by pattern. So if you had a lot of polka dot cushion covers, you could have a shop section for that. You could organize them also by size. This shop has not hid their sales history, so you can also click on that and then have a look around at what products seem to be selling well. So I can see that navy is popular, quite popular, and that listing is sold. That was the one that was on Marmalead. You can go back a couple of pages and have a look at what seems to be selling a lot. We can also see that size-wise, about the medium size range seems to be selling well, and square pillows. Rectangle ones don't seem to sell that often, so if you were just starting out in selling cushion covers, you'd probably start with square because that's the most popular. The other thing that I like to do is go to the first page of that seller's shop sales history, because then that will also tell you what doesn't work. So we can see that photos like this probably weren't that popular because there's only one sale for that type of photo in their sales history. We can see that again navy was popular back when they started because that cushion in navy and in blue. So we can gain a picture of what's working and what's not working. It's really handy to have a look at the first page history because it'll probably look completely different to what their first sales history page looks like. We can also see that this shop has a lot of favorites. We can check out their reviews. So they've got a 5-star rating, so their pillows are obviously good if people are raving about them. So again, that's that same image that we landed from Marmalead, so that must be a really popular listing. And oh look, someone's even been nice enough to post a picture of how they're using it. That's really good. So we can see that okay, they're making good quality products. It's durable fabric, so you don't want to skimp on fabric quality because customers really want something that's durable. So have a read through their reviews and you can use that as your market research as well. Also pay particular attention to negative reviews because that will tell you what you should not do, and that's usually more helpful than just a whole bunch of, oh yeah, great product, 5 stars, because it doesn't really tell you much about how the product can be improved or how you can establish a point of difference. So then you can also look at their refund policy as well, etc. So have a snoop around some of the most popular shops that have appeared up here, and then you can also see their price range as well. So theirs is quite low priced actually, so if you want to rank high you're probably going to need to go around $18 I'm gathering, because that seems to be about the average price point. So again, you would need to work out whether that's actually going to be feasible given the cost of your supplies, how much time it's going to make, etc. And then we can keep scrolling down in Marmalead and see what sort of tags have been used. So cushion cover is a super popular tag because it's got the highest count. So if you wanted to rank for cushion covers, you would need to, or pillowcase covers, whatever you wanted to call them, you would need to add that. There's lots of different ways you can call things of the same product. So in Australia where I live, we call, Americans call them flip-flops, but we call them thongs. So if you were targeting someone overseas as your target market, you also need to take that into account when choosing your tags. You can see that cushion cover, pillow cover, decorative pillow, so all of these sort of keywords are ones that we would want to add in the tag section. So in the bottom of your listings, another sneaky marketing tool, competitor research that you can do, is scroll down to the bottom and see what tags they've used. So this is the tag section. So we can see that these are the tags that they've used. So if you were trying to rank as well and you had nautical cushion covers, we can see that anchor is a popular search. They've got like 4 in there that say anchors. So if you were selling a similar product, you would probably use similar tags to what they have. And if you keep scrolling, we can also see what is not ranking well for tags. So these are tags that you would not want to use in your listings because no one's looking at them, they're not popular, they're not what people are searching. So it's a good idea to review your tags periodically on your listings. I usually check mine out every couple of months or so. If a product is really not selling, I will switch it up probably every month. So make sure that you are checking that your tags are working. If you've had a lot of sales of one product and then suddenly your sales drop off, that can be an indication that you need to update your tags, or that a trend has changed, or people are referring it to a different phrase or something. You need to update your tags. So don't just do your tags and leave it as is. They also give you this cool word cloud which tells you which keywords are popular. So cushion cover is really popular, also decorative pillow and polka dots. So people do really like polka dots. We can also look at some of these other smaller ones. They're ranking but not ranking as well. So by color doesn't seem to be ranking too well, but pink, remember pink was really popular. So that just reaffirms that pink is probably where you would want to start making a cushion. In what color? We can see that blue is also popular as well. I'm not seeing green. I've seen grey and gold and grey again, but I'm not seeing green. So if I was making a cushion cover, I would not start with green for my product line. Cotton, so that's the type of material. So cotton fabric is popular, so I would probably use that. So we can see that that's probably for indoor pillows, because outdoor pillows are probably going to have a more durable fabric type. So we'd probably start with indoor pillows. UK, so there's demand for these in the UK. So if you were selling to the UK and you lived in the US, you would need to consider different things that people refer to stuff. So my thongs example and flip-flops earlier. If this was Australia, you would need to take that into account and change your tags accordingly to suit. And we can also see that 16-inch, so that's a medium size cushion cover, that seems to be popular as well, and also 18-inch. So again, that would be a good starting point for your size. So when you go through Marmalead and you get all this really good data, make sure you jot this down, and you can start to see patterns forming, and that will usually give you a good indication of where you should go with your next product, or if you're expanding an existing product line. One of the reasons that I really like Marmalead is because it is Etsy specific. It's not just the whole internet, it is based on Etsy. So if you're selling on Etsy, this is a tool that I really recommend that you use for market research, and I especially like to use it for finding out which keywords are ranking, pricing wise, and to have a checkout of competitors, and also things like product photos, etc. So basically it's a one-stop shop for market research, and I highly recommend it. If you type in Google Marmalead, you'll be able to bring up the tool, and remember, this is all the free version. If you want to pay, you can get some extra data as well. So I hope you found this tutorial helpful.